Alright, so today we're doing a little bit more of a serious video. Today we're talking about Hurricane Katrina. Now look, on TikTok recently it's been a trend of people telling their stories of the hurricane and their experience of going through it in Louisiana. And recently there's also been a Hulu documentary about the whole thing. I'm gonna be honest, bro, viewer discretion is advised for this video. This isn't a video where it's gonna be ha, hee, whatever. It's more of a serious video. I feel like I'm gonna use my platform to share stories like this so that y'all realize the government failed every single person who lived in Louisiana during that time. And I've gone through some of these stories and some of them are truly heartbreaking. So I will say viewer discretion is advised, but let's go ahead and get to the first one, all right?
I just want to add, through the whole situation, nobody ever sat us down and asked us if we was okay. They just expected us to just go with the situation, how it was going. Whoever live here now, I'm sorry, but I'm from the Ninth Ward. This is the house 2424, where I spent majority of my childhood, or the parts of childhood that I remember, right in this house. But we moved, right? So when Hurricane Katrina hit, I stayed in Chalmette on Oak Tree Lane, around the corner from Plantation, the Village Square, right around the corner from the circle. So August 29, 2005, Hurricane Katrina hits. My mama said we ain't going nowhere. We ain't leaving. My mama didn't even have a car. So, I mean, I don't even expect it why we even thought we was leaving. But my mama said...
And this is the thing that's been a big reoccurring theme throughout all of these stories that we're finna watch. People didn't have the necessities or the abilities to get out of there. And apparently the New Orleans didn't alert the people that they should probably evacuate until like 2 days before. So that's not enough time.
We from New Orleans, hurricanes come, hurricanes go. We gonna ride this one out. We gonna sit down. And that's after the fact. Mayor Ray Nagin got on TV and said, if y'all stand, write y'all names on your arms, on your doors, y'all ages, y'all birthday, because y'all probably not gonna make it. But we stayed, right? The police came around that morning. They had their blaring their sirens on their little go inside. It's a curfew. Hurricane about to hit. Go inside, right? So we inside. It starts raining. Boom. All right, rain. Right? Water start growing crazy out of nowhere. 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet. Y'all see that line, right? That's where the water stopped. It came through the window.
Yo, what? It stopped up here?
Came through the doors. That's where the water stopped. 17 feet of water. Everything under that drowned. Everything in my hood, everything under that line did not make it.
Wow.
When we went to the convention center, people that was close to the levee said they heard the levees explode, or they heard loud bangs, or they heard...
I keep on hearing that too. People are saying that the government may have blown up the levees to flood out, to actually encourage the flood, because I'm pretty sure back then New Orleans was mainly black people, especially near the levees. It was just hoods. So apparently a conspiracy theory is that they were trying to flood out the hoods so they can gentrify it now. Because I've been there recently. Around the levees, I'm pretty sure it's all gentrified now. Don't quote me on that.
I believe them. Because there's no way. Next door, right there, our neighbor, right? We bust down her wall because we knew she was elderly. We bust down her wall. She had animals. We bust down her wall to try to get to her, and also to try to get to the other apartment where it was higher ground, right? But none of us could swim. I couldn't swim. I was crying. Mama. Listen, everybody in the house had to uplift me because I just knew we wasn't going to make it. But 4 or 5 hours later, we sitting in 17 feet of water, scared. When help gonna come, right? Jeez. Imagine seeing a boat come through your hood. They come pick us up in a boat. They tell the lady, "Oh man, we can't take no animals with us." So she decided to stay. She decided to stay with her animals. I have no idea if she made it out. I have no idea if anybody came back for her. I just left CF Raleigh.
Damn.
I've been to CF Raleigh. Listen, I was ready to go to Chalmette Middle. I just knew I was about to play basketball. I just knew I was about to play trumpet. I just knew I was about to be in a band. Hurricane Katrina stopped all that. Changed my life forever. Changed our lives forever. The New Orleans that you see now is a skeleton of the New Orleans that what was before Hurricane Katrina hit. And it took what was, or what could have been, away from all of us. So the people came through in the boats, and they got us. We going through saving other people in the water. We seeing bodies. We seeing animals. We seeing snakes. We seeing all kind of stuff in this water, right? They took us to Chalmette Hospital, where we had to sleep on top of the hospital because, they had the patients. They had to move the patients in. Okay. So as we went into the hospital, we seeing sickly patients. We seeing old patients. We seeing everybody, like, literally on their last breath, in this hospital. And they took us to the roof where we slept at, and they gave us food. So this is where they took us after we left the hospital, to St. Bernard.
I do want to comment on something real quick. I'm trying to let him speak. If y'all peep, I'm not reacting a lot because I want him to tell his full story before I get to my opinions. But I will say one thing. That's the scariest part about floods. It's not just the water, it's what's in the water. Like the snakes, the dogs, the scorpions that could be in. You don't know what's in that water, bro. And like, plus, if electrical lines are hitting that shit, the water could, you feel me, get electrocutional, whatever that's called. Or there could be poisons and toxins in the water because you never know what's getting flooded. So it's very dangerous. Plus, it's just musty. It's toxic. It's all bad, bro. Like, you never know.
Our sheriff's off prison, right? So imagine.
And plus, another thing he kept on mentioning is like, niggas didn't really know when people were coming to save him, bro. And fortunately enough, a boat did come for him. But from what I've heard, not everybody was saved, bro. Not everybody came to help.
In this situation, you just lost everything. You just seen your whole hood swallowed up by water. Now you in the presence of inmates with your mom, your little sisters.
It was in the presence of inmates?
But
that's also messed up. Like, yo, what? You're going to put kids around, like, inmates, legal criminals?
In this area,
what?
It wasn't that flooded, maybe like 2-3 feet of water. So people was able to go in, like, stores and stuff to get things that they need to survive in this situation. The news would call it looting at this time, right? So me, my brother, my sisters, and my mama, we go in the store, we try to get some stuff. Imagine coming out the store just trying to get stuff to survive, and you got cops pointing pew-pews at you and your family telling you to put stuff down, put it down, put it down.
What? So y'all finna point guns at people trying to survive. Yo, nobody's running this store. Bro, the clerk could be dead. Oh, y'all not trying to help us. Y'all not gonna feed us. What else am I supposed to do? I gotta get food. I gotta get Band-Aids. I gotta get milk and water. Like, what? Yo, if nobody running the store, it's just gonna go to waste anyways. Like, what's the issue? That's weird.
Put it down, put it down. When you in a situation like, I was not about to eat the spaghetti they were serving in this place. I was not. Shout out to my homie Ray, his sister Macy, and his sister Chelsea. Ray was killing that spaghetti, man. They moved to Minnesota after this. If y'all see this, man, holla at me. But I was not eating that spaghetti. My mama wasn't. Listen, so we was trying to get some stuff to survive. So I know y'all heard bad things about what happened in the Superdome and people that was being unalived by other people and
I've heard about that too.
Stuff. That's all true. That's all true. It was really a tough situation to be in and seeing or hearing about. So after we left there,
I heard the Superdome was like a very like crazy place because what happened is they put a lot of civilians and then criminals into the Superdome and just put all of them in there. It was like, fuck it, try to survive. So if you try to go to the bathroom, that could be your last day. Somebody could kill you. Somebody could rape you. Especially if you're a woman or child. Like, yo, these criminals didn't care. People didn't really think they were finna make it through this shit. So they was just doing whatever. So it's just like, that's a scary thing. A scary environment to put somebody in. Plus, I remember they said the plumbing wasn't working. So it was stinky as shit. You feel me? Like, it was hot in there. No AC. People were passing out, throwing up, peeing themselves, pooping themselves. Like, it was bad.
We went to the convention center, where they gave us food and they looked out or whatever as best as they could. But we didn't have it as hard as the people in the Superdome did. And I always say thank God because I was with my mom and I was with my sisters, and I wouldn't want, as a 12-year-old child, I wouldn't have wanted to be in that situation with them going through that. So like I said,
but it's crazy as a kid he has to go through basically a post-apocalyptic y'all get what I'm trying to say. Post-apocalyptic environment like that, bro. Because from what it sounded like, bro, it was every man for themselves, bro. Like them zombie movies you be seeing like on Netflix or Hulu or HBO, like, it sounds like an environment like that. Which is crazy to go through as a kid, especially when all you're thinking about that you got to worry about is school, grades, not getting beat from your mama, making a football team or whatever. Now, but instead of going through regular experiences that anybody else would, now you got to worry about survival. Like, what? That's crazy.
We went to the convention center. We was there for a couple of days where my mama met this nice, lovely couple from Arizona, Pastor David and his wife, Pastor Diana. They lived in Mesa, Arizona. My mama came to us, say, look, I met these people. They want to, make sure we straight. We moved to Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
Talking about culture shock. I should make this a part 2. Cause
W couple for letting this family move in.
It has nothing to do with Hurricane Katrina. But in hindsight, it does. because when I moved to Mesa, Arizona, and I started going to school out there, my accent and how I talk was completely different from even now. Like, I'm talking about ninth ward, like, I'm trying, cold drink. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to tell you. So when I'm out there, people, oh, you a refugee? You a refugee? Oh, you dirty? All kind of stuff. Like,
You
oh,
dirty
you
is
was in that hurricane.
Yo, what? Yo, what? Yo, okay. First off, being called a refugee when you're when you're escaping another city in the same country is stupid as hell. That's not what a refugee. Like, what? What are we talking about? Second, calling you dirty because you went through a tragedy like that you couldn't control is so. That's such a stupid concept, bro.
Was in that hurricane. So now I'm fighting. Listen, man.
I'll be fighting too.
Like,
what are you talking about?
If y'all want to hear about my life in Arizona, or even my life in the ninth ward, just but long story short, you know, Hurricane Katrina was a terrible situation, and like I tell everybody, you will never be able to imagine the things that we seen, the things that we smelt, the things that we had to deal with at the time in a country that still to this day don't really care about us. So back then, y'all remember when Kanye got on TV and said George Bush don't like black people? Listen, bro, we felt that, and we still.
They didn't go to help. George Bush wasn't trying to help. Niggas was calling Kanye crazy. The U.S. abandoned Katrina. I mean, they abandoned New Orleans during Katrina. Bro, I heard. I was scrolling through TikTok. I seen another video talking about how even after, when people were trying to clean up the city, it was so many dead bodies hanging out of buildings, floating in the water. The smell was insane. It was a crazy sight to see. It was just so much of that type of shit that was just going around. And it's like, bro, this could have been prevented with better levees being built, more precautions, more efforts to go and help the struggling city. Like, it could have been, bro. It could have been like prevented, bro. It's crazy as shit. It's weird as hell what they did to Katrina, bro. And then, you feel me? Apparently, bro, people be saying they blew up the levees. Like, you wanted this to happen.
I feel that to this day.
Like, that's weird.
If you've ever met somebody from New Orleans, outside of New Orleans, you'll know we love the city. Love it to death, man. Because what we knew before Katrina, that's something our kids will never experience. That's something that we could never go back to, man. And it's just crazy how it was taken away from us.
That's sad, bro. I have heard that apparently New Orleans' population hasn't returned since to the same. Because the actual city of New Orleans had a population of over 400,000 before Katrina. After, it dropped to like 200,000. And it hasn't been up to 400,000 since. I'm pretty sure. Let me do my research real quick. New Orleans population. Let me see. Because I've seen this on TikTok, so I don't know. Let me see. Yep. Still not the same. You see the drop. It went from like damn near 500,000 to when Katrina hit, down to 200,000. It still has never recovered. It hasn't recovered. It hasn't recovered. And it seemingly may never. This is insane. Katrina literally wiped off a whole identity of a city. Like, the whole identity, bro. It's crazy. Okay, so that was the first story we got. We got a second. I think we're going to do two to three stories for this, maybe 4. But this story went a little bit more viral on TikTok.
I stayed for Hurricane Katrina.
This story is about, this video is posted by the girl named Tim, all right? Got about like 3.5 million, 300,000 likes. By the way, the last story, Christopher Watay. Go check these people out. Go show their love. You go watch the video for yourself, too, if you want to. Support these people and repost. Let's get to it.
I stayed for Hurricane Katrina. At 35 years old, 20 years later, and it's my first time ever telling this story. The year is 2005. I'm 15 years old, starting my second week of 10th grade at Warren Easton. I'm just, busy.
Let me go ahead and speed this up. I know how.
Worried about typical teenager stuff. It was our first jamboree coming up that week. We was playing St. Aug. It was supposed to be that same Saturday, August 29th. If I remember correctly, it was a few days before they started to tell us, they got a hurricane coming. It could be very bad. We don't really, we'll keep y'all updated. The day before, maybe a day or two before, is when they really started to tell us, all right, y'all, like, maybe y'all should start leaving.
Maybe y'all should start leaving.
And just like any typical New Orleans family, I had never evacuated before. It was just something it wasn't completely necessary. Like, we never had a hurricane that actually...
This is also on the weather. I mean, I know it's hard to predict weather, but at the same time, I feel like more preparation could have been, you feel me, announced, bro. I know still a lot of people wouldn't leave because they're just used to this shit, but maybe more emphasis, bro. Maybe a week before so people can actually get prepared, get into their cars, make their flights, do whatever they can. It's just something... more preparation could have been made, bro.
Wiped us out, so you'll be fine if you stayed. Make sure you got food and water, get you some games to play, bunker down and ride it out. And at that point, even if you wanted to leave, it was like the roads was gridlocked, bumper to bumper, like the traffic wasn't going away anyway. So even if you probably wanted to leave, it didn't make no sense. So it just so happened we were in a process of moving. I had stayed in the same house from when I was born to 15. We were moving, so a few days before that, we had just put all our stuff in storage because the house wasn't quite ready yet, so we was moving in with my grandmother for a couple weeks. So in my grandmother's house, it was me, my mama, my brother, my grandmother, and my auntie. She was the baby of the family. She still stayed with my grandma. 3 of my uncles decided they was gonna come ride it out over there too. So that's what we did. It's just so crazy how that shit really escalated like that fast. And my auntie Julie, like, we lost all the fucking footage. Like, we had the entire hurricane on video. She was just the type who always had a camcorder, always recording stuff. We were on my grandmother's porch the whole hurricane. We watched it pass. It was not that bad. I wouldn't say we was out there the whole hurricane, but we was outside for some of the hurricane.
Oh, so she said it wasn't that bad. That's interesting. So the actual storm wasn't that bad. It was probably just the levees that failed that really made it horrible.
We was in and out the house. Like, it wasn't that horrible.
Maybe she was in a good area.
For the damage to be like that, it was not the storm. I'm telling y'all. Like, y'all see the documentaries. Y'all already know. So after the storm was over, we on the porch. And we started to see, the flood water. Okay. My grandmother's porch had 4 steps to go up until you actually, like, got on the porch. So her house set up a little bit. So we, like, my uncle, he told me and my brother, I guess he was just giving us something to do. He told us to let him know when the water got to the first step. Water rose up a little bit. We went inside and told him, like, Uncle Robbie, the water at the first step. Same thing. Second step, third step, fourth step. The water is up to the porch. At that point, we go inside. We inside for a little while. My grandma had hardwood floors. You could see the water coming in through the cracks. Once it got to, like, our shin inside the house, I remember my grandmother sitting up on the back part of the sofa. Like, her butt was on the back part of the sofa. The water rising up to the sofa. My uncle was like, all right, we got to pull the attic down. We all go to the attic. By the time nightfall, I could literally stick my finger down out the attic and touch the water. Not arm length, finger length.
For a storm not that crazy, for it to flood that bad, levees had to be broken. They had to blow up the levees. There's no way. What are we talking about? How could it be that bad of flooding?
I'm so happy my uncles was with us because it was me, my mama, my auntie, my little brother, and my grandma. We didn't have the strength to bust through the roof. It just so happened they had an X in the attic. They bust through the roof at that point. We slept up there for that night. Nothing else you could do. Nowhere to go.
That's crazy.
Surrounded by water. It's hot. It's dark. Like, you could hear the helicopters passing overhead, but they can't see you. It's pitch black. I guess eventually we fell asleep. The next morning,
that's insane.
We wake up. My uncles, trying to come up with a plan, seeing like what we're gonna do, because obviously nobody coming for us. They said a prayer, and after a little while, we looking around, they had an empty boat just floating by, like not too far, like just an empty boat. Just, I guess it was in somebody's yard, and the water took it, and it just so happened to pass by us.
What happened to the people in the yard?
They swam to that boat, and they told us they'd be back. They had to go find higher ground. You wouldn't believe how close higher ground was to us, and it wasn't even fucking flooded. When I tell you the water was up to my ground, well, I already know the water was up to her roof. 2 blocks away, they had a little water, probably like ankle length water, but the water was not over the houses. But you know what type of neighborhood that was? My grandma said,
Wow. Wow. So it literally just flooded the hood where all of the minorities stayed. Wow. Wow.
2719 New York Street. That's right off of Franklin Avenue, right? Like a few blocks away from Rouse's. You know that neighborhood back there by the lake. You know who houses that was. You know who houses didn't get flooded. So they came back with a boat, brought us to 2 blocks away. Everybody who stayed in the area, I guess that's what the common ground was, that everybody knew to go to Rouse's. Word them out. Meanwhile, my uncles got back on the boat and went, through the neighborhood to see who else they could bring over there.
Okay, W people.
Like real neighborhood hero type shit. Yo, everybody was in Rouse's parking lot. They then broke up in there. Got some barbecue grills. Got some food out. Went to grilling. When I tell you,
okay,
I will never, ever forget that pork chop sandwich I had in Rouse's parking lot. I don't know who grilled me that sandwich, but that was the best pork chop sandwich I ever had in my life.
Hey, sandwich, yo, food be hidden when you going through it in life, bro. That's the greatness of food, bro. It will always be with you when you going through it.
I got an acre part too. I gotta go there.
Okay, so from her story, basically, she was in a better position than the last story. The last story, he sounds like he was pretty close to the levees. This story sounds like she was, you feel me, close to like the upper echelon neighborhoods, the better neighborhoods, the white people. I'm just gonna say it's the white people. Let's keep it real. And luckily, they were in a better situation to go, you feel me, and get to safety. All right. But this last story could potentially be a little bit different.
I'll never forget. I was 12 years old, and we stayed in West Bank. We stayed on the West Bank in Algiers, and days leading up to the storm, I remember like they would come on the news and be like, "Oh, it's only a hurricane. It's only a Category 2. Just board up your house. It's like you'll be fine. Stock up on food. Like go to the grocery store. Blah blah blah."
It's crazy how much they underestimated this storm. But in recent TikToks we just seen, apparently the storm wasn't that bad. That's not why, you feel me, New Orleans flooded. Apparently it was another reason. Maybe, you feel me?
Because we used to hurricanes. Then the day before Katrina, which was August 28th, my mama was pregnant, and she was due to have a baby within like the next few hours, or like the next
during Katrina.
And so we were going to stay in New Orleans. My whole family evacuated to different places, but for the most part, most of my family evacuated to Mississippi because that's like where our people from. And so everybody evacuated to Mississippi, but my mama was like, "Oh, we just gonna stay because I'm about to have a baby. We gonna go to the hospital. We gonna be fine, right?"
Okay.
The day before the storm, I remember it like days before he was on the news saying like, "Oh, now it's a Category 3. Like, if you can evacuate, go ahead and do that. Like, if you get out, get out. But if you're not gonna leave, do this, do that. Make sure you have flashlights, candles. Like the power gonna go out. Like this and that is gonna be crazy." The day before the storm, I remember that man was on that news screaming at the top of his lungs. He damn near was cursing on the news.
Wow.
He was like, "Get out! It is a Category 5 hurricane now. Get out. Do not stay in New Orleans. Do not try to ride this thing out. You will not make it. You're going to die. And if you don't die,
that's
you're
horrifying.
going to be stranded for a very long time." He was screaming at
That's
everybody.
horrifying.
And I remember going outside and looking at the sky, and the sky was like the clouds, the sky, the whole like earth was red. I don't know if anybody else remember that.
What?
I will never forget that sky. The sky was like a bright orange red color, and I remember going outside looking at the sky, and I called my sister and my mama. I was like, "Ma, like Brittany, like look at the sky, like that's crazy. It looked crazy outside. Like it looked scary. Like it looked like the sky was on fire, like this red." And then
that's
I remember,
insane.
I don't know what like. Oh, actually, I do know what happened. So my mama called her doctor, who was gonna perform the delivery, and she was like, "Hey, like me and my daughters, we just packed up a little bag, literally like an overnight bag, because we was used to this." She was like, "We about to head to the hospital. Like, what do you think?" And my mama doctor told her straight up, she was like, "Stacey, look, take your girls and get out of the city because it's gonna be bad. Y'all not gonna want to be in this hospital. It's already crazy right now. Like if I was you, I would not stay here and try to have that baby. Take your kids."
Damn. Okay.
By this time, it was about 5, 6 o'clock, like, or it had to be maybe like 2, 3 in the afternoon, anywhere from 2 p.m. to like 5 p.m. in the afternoon, the night before the storm. Mind you, the storm hit the next morning. So mama was like, "All right." So she was like, "We about to hit the road. Like, we about to try to get out as far as we can. Like, at this point, it's so many people trying to evacuate. It's so much traffic. People just trying to go wherever." So we started heading west. And if you're from New Orleans or you've been to New Orleans, you know how they have Lake Pontchartrain, that long bridge over the water. So we started driving that way. And I don't remember if we was heading to Mississippi or if we was just driving. I don't know. My mama probably wasn't even in her right mind because she was literally about to go into labor. And
yeah, being pregnant, finna have a kid, and now you over here stressing trying to get your kids out of a city that's finna go to a complete complete dystopian shit is insane.
I remember I was in the back seat, my sister was in the front seat, and my mama was driving. It was just us three because my stepdad was a cop at the time, so he stayed back and, served his duty as a cop.
Okay.
And we start driving, and normally it takes about 45 minutes if you speeding to like an hour to get to Baton Rouge, which is like right down the street from New Orleans. So we start driving, and my mama started having contractions. And I remember she was driving.
Oh, no.
She was just rubbing her stomach, and she was breathing real heavy. She was just like, and she was just driving. But it was standstill traffic. You couldn't get nowhere. So we was stuck on the bridge on top of Lake Pontchartrain, and it was literally like standstill traffic. It took us 5 hours to get out of that traffic. It was so much traffic, like people was just like standing on the bridge. Like you could just get out your car and just chill on the bridge and like look at the water because you ain't going nowhere.
Damn,
my mama just
that's
started having
insane.
contractions. She started going, and my mama was like overdue. She was like 10 months pregnant. She wasn't like.
She was 10 months pregnant too. Oh fuck. Oh.
That baby was coming. He was coming, and we call my little brother Storm to this day because he came. His birthday was like literally the day of the storm. So we drive for like 5 hours, and I think we was trying to head to Mississippi to get to like my grandma and my aunties and my uncle and everybody. But my mama just pulled over the first time, like the first stop she could, the first exit she could, because she was like, I'm about to have this baby, like I need to stop, like wherever. So we stopped in Baton Rouge at the Women's Center or something like that. It was a hospital.
Okay.
Where they literally like are known for just like giving birth.
At least you can get out the city.
In there, we was just like, my mama about to have a baby. My mama about to have a baby. We from New Orleans. Like we just evacuated. Like she needs a doctor. So they was like, all right, like it's real busy right now. Like it's a lot going on. The storm about to hit. All these people came to the hospital because everybody who was having a baby, I guess, was in there trying to have a baby. And my mama didn't have a doctor.
Why so many kids? Why so many people due on the storm date? That's crazy.
Their system set up for that, I guess. So they put us in the waiting room. And we sat on chairs. My mama she was sitting on a chair and she had her feet on a chair in front of her. And we just sat in the waiting room for I don't even know how long. It was hours. Like it took forever for them to finally come and see us. And we just watching the news in the waiting room. And we watching and they saying like, oh yeah, it's going to be crazy. And then it became dark. It was nighttime, the night before Katrina. And we just sitting there like waiting on our fate. And then finally they put us in the room. And me and my sister, we like slept on the little chairs, like so uncomfortable. And then the next, they put my mama like on like all the stuff or whatever. And my brother didn't come yet. So the next morning, we watching the news, we hear helicopters outside of the hospital, and we was like, what's all that noise? Like, what's going on? And then the nurse was telling us, like, oh, people are getting airlifted to this hospital from the city, from New Orleans. And we was like,
shit.
Like, what happened? Like, how was the hurricane? Like, because we could hear it. It was raining and storming where we was at, but it wasn't that bad. We turned on the news. When I tell you, when we saw that water all the way up to the roofs of people's houses and people laying on their house drawing out the word SOS, we looked at each other like, what? We literally packed the overnight. I had like
whoever your mom's doctor was, literally saved y'all lives. I'm not gonna lie, she literally saved y'all lives because y'all would have been right there with him, and your mom would have been having that baby right through all of that shit with no stepfather and this whole shit. Yo, that doctor saved y'all lives. Y'all might have been cooked. I'm not gonna hold you.
One pair of panties, one outfit, and that's it. And we looking at each other like, what is going on? So then my mama finally goes into labor. And she ended up having my brother on the 30th. Now, the day after Hurricane Katrina hit, Hurricane Rita also hit. And Hurricane Rita hit a lot of Mississippi and Louisiana and New Orleans, too. So that really took everything out. And we didn't know where everybody was at. Because once Rita hit, everybody lost cell service. It was no way you could contact nobody in certain parts of Mississippi, which where my whole family was, and all of New Orleans. So nobody knew where we was at. Nobody knew that we had made it or not to Baton Rouge. Nobody, like our family had no idea where we was. My stepdaddy didn't know where we was at. We literally could not contact nobody. And the story gets crazier after that. But my brother was born, and come back for part 2.
All right, I was going to watch that part 2, but honestly, there's something else I want to cover real quick. So if you want to see that part 2, her TikTok is linked down below, and the name of the TikTok, her ad is The Girl Named Sim. So go tap in. But there is a couple more things I want to tap into just to hear perspectives on.
Did y'all hear about all of the women and children that were raped and decapitated in the Superdome during Hurricane Katrina? Yes, and a lot of these crimes that were committed were by people that were not originally criminals before the hurricane hit.
Jesus.
Like side-eyeing people that's
what?
But it's a lot of people walking the streets that have sick, twisted things in their mind, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. And the guards were checking the women when they came into the Superdome to make sure they didn't have any weapons on them, and a lot of them didn't have anything. But my thing is, if you're going to remove my weapons, take my weapons, make sure I don't have anything, you need to be protecting me as well. Like, y'all wanted these people to get hurt. I'm talking about kids were not even safe going to the bathroom. Like, it was morbid.
That's literally insane. Imagine going to the bathroom and you just see a head laying on the ground, and then you just hear faint crying sounds and grunting. No, I don't even imagine that. That's just crazy. I'm gonna be honest, bro. This is not like, it's insane how nobody did anything about this. Yo, as soon as something goes wrong, bro, you instantly just resort to doing horrible things and raping people and and killing people. It's weird. And you're not even a prisoner. You're not even a criminal. You're just a regular person.
The freezer, and then sat up here and lied to us.
Wait, what?
A lot of the people inside of the freezer, and then sat up and decapitated bodies inside of the freezer, and then sat
That's
up here and
insane.
lied to us. A lot of the people that were running the Superdome said that a lot of the unalivings that happened there were not crime related. Why did y'all lie like that? Like, women and children being raped and decapitated, how was that not crime related? They definitely didn't pass away from the hurricane. Like, y'all are
That's
sick.
Insane.
These people were in a state of crisis and y'all took advantage of them. Like,
to any person who could have even thought to do something like that, certain people just don't deserve rights, bro. You're one of them. That's insane. I'm not gonna lie. This is other video I found. This one is very graphic, so viewer discretion advised.
To the bridge, there was a baby, hair freshly combed, that was in the water, and she was deceased. But I so wanted to get this baby out the water, and I told the guy that was driving the boat, I said, "There's a baby right there." So let me get the baby, and I'll take her to someone on the bridge, and maybe we can find out who her parents is. He said, that baby's gone. She's deceased. And I was like, anyway, just let me get her.
No, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. That's a kid. I understand they're deceased, but bro, that kid had parents, bro. Like, come on. Just humanity, bro.
Out the water. And I'll take her to the bridge, and maybe, the ambulance or something up there is waiting, and they can take her and they can identify her. And he took a stick or some kind of board he had in the boat.
Oh my God.
And he pushed the baby away.
Oh my God, bro. Yeah, I don't think I can watch that documentary, bro. I don't think I can watch that documentary. Dead or alive, that's someone's kid, bro. How the fuck can you do that as a person, bro? How do you even, that's disgusting.
He was like, "Ma'am, we're worried about the living, not the dead right now."
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. That's insane. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? That's a baby. And then, taking the kid and pushing him. That's oh my God, that's disgusting. No, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I had to show y'all that. I didn't watch the full thing. I watched the first 10 seconds before I played it for y'all. I didn't know it got that horrible. Oh my God. I also want to show y'all this to just keep this making this aware. I seen this title or caption. I wanted to show it to y'all. After Hurricane Katrina, they let white people come murder the black people. They let the KKK patrol the neighborhood. Watch this.
You have to shoot somebody. Yeah, that's simple. We shot him. They were looters.
Oh, I tried to shoot to put them down. We didn't try to shoot to kill.
Wait, what are you talking about? They were looters. What? They're trying to survive. Do y'all just have that much? Do these people just have that much hatred in their heart, bro? I will never understand the ideology of somebody who's genuinely racist like that, bro. Do you just have that much hatred in your heart? They're going through the hardest times in their life, and you want to kill them?
Okay. Did you kill the number of them? How many did you kill roughly?
Okay. What? Yeah, people like this need to be put down. I'm sorry. What are we talking about? This is insane.
Listen, they chose to die.
Do you see this shit?
What? They chose to die? Go watch that. Yo, go watch that Katrina documentary, bro. We can't ever forget this shit. He actually had the audacity to say that on an interview. Firing squad, bro. That's all I got to say.
The vigilantes, you see them. How they patrol around here in trucks. 4-ton truck. Driver in a passenger.
These disgusting people.
And then 2 in the back. With long guns. And nobody's telling them anything. There was no police. No police No army, no National Guard, nobody. Then they put in a shoot to kill curfew. That's the dawn.
A shoot to kill curfew? Are you serious? The cops not doing anything about this. The government not doing anything about this. They're literally just killing people for fun who are going through the toughest time in their lives. And nobody's seen anything wrong with that. Yeah, they blew them levees up. They wanted to gut New Orleans. They wanted to ruin the city. You can't convince me otherwise. What are we talking about? They set in parameters. Are you serious? So they knew.
Shoot to kill. But there's nobody left. Young blacks was being killed in this community.
Hey, man.
You hear the gunfire. It's not something I'm just making up. It's out there. It was great. It was like pheasant season in South Dakota.
Nigga, they are showing all 32 drinking beers, laid up on a couch, laid up on a car. These ugly ass people, bro. Come on. What the hell? That's disgusting, bro. How can you live with yourself doing something like that, bro? How can you sleep at night? That shit. I don't like showing stuff like this, bro, because I don't like negative thoughts or watching negative content. I'll try to keep this like funny or lighthearted or just give basic opinions or just chill opinions or whatever. But I would feel wrong if I didn't use my platform to show shit like this or to like at least make the people who want to be aware. Shout out to all of these creators. All of their names or channels or accounts will be linked down below if you want to see more information about this. This is the last video I'll watch.
I've been seeing a lot of talk about Hurricane Katrina lately, and that's great. I'm glad that we're finally talking about what actually happened there. But something that I never hear anyone mention when talking about Katrina is this guy right here, because he is a true hero that never gets recognition. It had been 2 days since Hurricane Katrina had devastated the city of New Orleans. The amount of people that were in need of rescue after the hurricane hit was astronomical. As we know, the Superdome was being opened up as a shelter for displaced residents.
Ew.
But they actually had such an overflow of people that now had no homes to return to that the Astrodome, all the way in Houston, Texas, began opening its doors to house people.
Okay,
as you may have
Houston.
already heard in documentaries about Katrina, helicopters and boats, all of the recovery efforts in the first few days of flooding were going right on past the predominantly black neighborhoods in New Orleans. People were stuck sleeping on their roofs and in their attics with no food, no water, no electricity, with their children in tow and all. And most of them had no option. They relied on public transportation and didn't have a vehicle to leave even if they wanted to evacuate. So this man,
They trying to kill all the black people, bro. I'm gonna just say we all thinking that they was trying to kill all the black people, bro, like they've done in the past with Overtown, Miami, Tulsa, Black Wall Street in Tulsa. They did it here where I live in North Nashville. They was just trying to destroy all the black people, bro.
20-year-old Jabbar Gibson
This
began
unseated
to
hatred
formulate
is
a plan
stupid.
to get out. He had been stuck inside of his complex for 2 days with no food or water and began to hear reports that neighboring areas were being swallowed whole by floodwaters. He went searching for a way out and came across a barn with a bunch of abandoned school buses inside. Now, Jabbar didn't even have his license to drive, but he knew what he needed to do. So he drove the Orleans Parish school bus back to his complex and loaded up as many people as possible onto it. What's crazy is that even though he was doing the right thing, police still showed up, made everyone get off the bus, and told Jabbar to hand over the keys.
What? Yo, what? Are you serious? Jabbar was trying to help people. Are you serious? You can't tell me otherwise, bro. They was trying to, bro. This was a massacre, bro. This wasn't a tragedy. No, this was a tragedy. This wasn't a natural disaster. It was a massacre. What are you talking about? He was literally helping people. He should be given a nigga, y'all should have helped him. Tried to stop him.
Was able to convince officers that now is not the right time. Don't you guys have better things to be doing? And from there, Jabbar transported 70 people 13 hours to the Houston Astrodome, and his bus was the first to arrive. I've been seeing a lot of talk about
how was his bus the first to arrive?
Yo, I hope this comes with a happy ending after.
He got a random school bus to transport people out. How was his... Shout out to Jabbar, bro. He's a hero. I don't know why people don't be talking about him enough. I also do want to highlight another thing.
I've been seeing a lot
Let's
of
read these comments real quick. I ain't gonna lie, I've been staring at them. So police showed up to arrest them, but not show up to help them. Exactly. I'm disgusted that I was never taught this stuff. Exactly. Yeah, and Pastor Joel Osteen wouldn't open his church for people who needed it. Isn't that what a church is for? You got a big ass church. Isn't that what it's for, to help people? That's why you can't be, bro. Some of the mega churches, bro, those pastors, they don't care. They just trying to make money. All I'm finna say is, bro, George Bush doesn't care about black people. What Kanye say, man? What Kanye said. This shit is disgusting. It's sad, and I can't believe we as a country didn't know about this until now. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I will say, in this video off, I know it's a little bit darker. It's not my typical type of content, but if I'm finna report about drama on here, I'm also gonna report about real shit that needs to be talked about. So that's just what I'm finna do over here. If you like this video, let me know. Honestly, I don't really care if you like it. I'm gonna keep on making videos like this whenever I can. So that's all I gotta say. We out.